Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. And tonight we do have a very special treat for you. We're here on the 7th episode of the Black Council podcast. And we're very excited about that. It's a big one. And here, as always, is number 69 Mythic himself, Numbskull, my co-host. There he is, everybody. How long you been holding on to the number 69 spot?
I've been 69ing. I 69 for like a day, and then
Oh wow, you must be sore. Yeah.
Yeah, I was laying down.
That's well. There you go. Yeah, as long as you're on the bottom, it's less bad. Yeah. That's the trick, and be the bottom of that. Now, are you going to shoot for the number 420 spot? I feel like that is got to be goals now.
Well, I like to try to stay in the top 250, but like if I lose, you know what I mean? It would be cool if I like dropped to exactly number 450 if I were to like lose a match in the 250 range,
Okay.
But that's going to be completely by chance. We'll have to see. I think I've been 421, but never exactly 420.
Never exactly 420. By the way, guys, that wasn't a joke. He actually did hit number 69 Mythic. Which is, I don't think I'll ever accomplish anything that great in my lifetime.
I got as high as 57 this season.
Okay, all right, damn. Yeah, that's usually who they have me play whenever I choose best of one. Best of three, as soon as I pick best of three, and I'm like, I'll try this jank deck. It's like, okay, well, here's number 2 Mythic. So
yeah, you'll get a pretty good player. There's a lot less people playing best of three.
Even though that's what everyone says. That's real magic. As you may or may not notice, look, I have a VTuber now. Look, I'm a little vampire anime boy. Ooh. I'm not sure I'm going to keep this model. I'm looking for some artists that may be able to work a better model for me. But I feel like it's a little better than my bouncing profile picture, even though we did love STUMFA art. Big shout out to STUMFA for doing all the art for at least my channel.
Yeah, STUMFA's dope.
And aside from that, I'm also very proud to say that I am officially Platinum 4. Oh, yeah. I realized I was Platinum 2 last week, but now I've made it back to Platinum 4. So, pretty proud of that. Be getting my ass kicked all week. So, did make it Mythic last season. I did do it with 3 days to spare, but this season has not been going good. Not at all. And I think we're going to cover a little bit of that. We're going to cover a little bit about how the meta has changed, how everything's shifting, what we're exactly doing here in this game arena, and where it's going. Where are we headed? Where are we going? What does it all mean? And, of course, the big ban. I think we're going to talk about that as well. And if you stay tuned, we'll probably finish it off with a brief look at some Brothers War spoilers. So I think the big ban and meta is going to be the first topic, and topic number 2 is going to be some Brothers War spoilers coming at the end. So first things first, we want to give a shout out to all the patrons for the Black Council podcast, which is going to be War Minds, Greg the Aliens, Mr. Woter, Ulfveer, Dan Tech, Clever Sounds, Bloodchief, and of course the Paradabos themselves. Thank you all so much. We are 2 patrons away from still two. Yeah, we had some people, and then we had some people left. We understand you can't always support, but for the minimum of $1 a month, $1 episode, whatever you want to give, joining our Patreon. When we get to 10, that's our Patreon goal right now. We will get the Black Council meeting chambers up. We'll get our own Discord server. We'll open that up. I've got it ready to go. I'm just waiting on you guys to join up, and boom, we'll give access to the Black Council Patreon, Patreon only exclusive Discord server, and you can ask us direct questions, talk about episodes. We'll do a couple of fun things on that, and I think at 20 we're gonna do a tournament. So Patreon rewards are coming, early access, get direct things, decide the topics that you want to hear on your council. This is really for everybody. Yeah, that's it. Anything you want to say, Numbskull?
Well, I got the invite for the Discord from Jay this afternoon, so it's literally live. We just need 2 more people to join on Patreon. Like we said, as little as $1 per month. You can do $1 per episode, whatever you'd like to do. Once that happens, we push like 2 buttons, and then you guys all have the link. It'll be Jay and I, and then the first 10 people. You'll be literally the first 10 people in our Discord.
Yes.
And yeah, you'll be able to say that. You'll be. I think we can probably set up roles for that too, Jake. Probably do like founder roles, kind of like badges on Twitch.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean? We can do integrations.
Some kind of special name, that aligns with the Discord. But you guys will have like your own role as recognizing that you were like the OGs of the Discord. So. Oh
yeah, the first 10 is absolutely. Mm-hmm. The founders.
It's special. It's respectable, and we appreciate it. So we want to give you guys like special recognition for doing it. So
absolutely.
There's 2 more people who can get that recognition and get that notoriety within our chambers. So
exactly, and it's little as you could do $1 an episode. Sure, you could do that. It's our recommended, but you could also just do $1 a month, 99 cents a month.
That's totally fine.
And that's totally fine as well. So just want to let you know about that, guys. We're trying to grow the podcast out. In some other interesting news, I actually do have a Twitter now. I am on the Twitter.
Wow.
Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know which is which, but I'm doing the tweeting thing. I'm still getting back into the hang of it. I was on it at one point a long time ago, and then I left because it's bad.
Have you doom scrolled yet?
I had to stop myself. I'm available for that, but I really had to stop myself from just kind of going through the absolute worst takes I've ever seen in my life.
There's some rabbit holes to go
just the absolute worst takes. I did have the number 1 reply to smoothly segue into the upcoming news when they said MEATHOOK, the tweet from MTG. Official announcing that MEATHOOK was banned. I put the meme up from Lord of the Rings. Looks like token decks are back on the menu, boys, or back in the meta, boys. And that was for a little while. That was the top reply to Wizards, so that was kind of funny.
That's good.
And so I appreciated that. And
a little serotonin.
Yeah. And then I confused Lil Bo Peaches by saying that because she was like, "Oh, black it should be playable to standard should be playable," and I told her that not until we ban blue, and I don't think she understood what I meant by that. She was like, "What? Oh. Why would you want to ban blue? That's like a whole color."
Because we hate it.
Yeah. So it was. I don't think she got my humor on that one. But either way. I'm back at it on Twitter, and we'll see how that goes. But I think most on everyone's mind, this is the number 1 question being asked, and I haven't really wanted to come down on yes or no yet. So I want to give you your opinion first. MEATHOOK is gone. All right. By the time this thing is going live, it got banned on Monday, and it's going to affect, I believe, Thursday. Thursday it's going to affect. So by the time this video goes live, it will be gone.
Yeah.
Numbskull. Mono black gym leader.
Yeah.
Is this a justified ban?
Overall, I'm gonna go with no, because mono black decks were still beatable, and there were still ways to buff creatures that outpaced a MEATHOOK. After rotation, mono black does not ramp as well as it did with things like Deadly Dispute and less kind of like treasure token generation going out. It is often the case where MEATHOOKs don't actually wipe the board the way you want them to. I think what it did was it made mono black decks less well-rounded, which I guess you could say that gives other things a chance, but I think that there are other cards that that do more for decks and are, I should say, more difficult to deal with. You know, you put in instant speed enchantment removal in your new set, and you're still saying like that wasn't good enough. So I just feel like that's not our fault. That's your fault. But
well, I just like to point out,
you know,
any problems with the game is the problem of the players, not the designers. The designers are flawless.
yeah, apparently. And basically anything that is, if you ask me, the card that should have been banned was Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. And I say that because of what it does. The mana value that you get right off the bat, and by the third turn of it, and then the residual things that you get for just one mana, that is, in my opinion, much more broken. It's much more dynamic than Meathook. Meathook is a passive ability after the board wipe itself, whereas Fable gives you residual, like, well, not even residual, but Fable gives you I should say, like, value that's, you know what I mean, like, unheard of for the rest of the game until it's dealt with. Whereas Meathook, it gives you value, but it's ping damage technically. It's not, you know what I mean? Oh, make a copy of a Titan of Industry, make a copy of a Blood Tithe Harvester. You have infinite removal. Make a copy of, Corpse Appraiser. Now you have infinite expressive iterations, a card that you banned in another format. So what that does and how versatile that is does way more to make games difficult and to make decks unplayable than a Meathook ever did. So Fable is what should have been banned, in my opinion. I didn't want anything to be banned because I felt that as if the format itself is still unsolved. I don't think that you need to go banning anything when a format is not solved. Your cards, once the ban went into effect, the new set had been out for like 4 weeks or 30 days. You gave it a month and you decided Meathook needs to be banned. I don't think that a month is enough time for post rotation for a meta to be decided. So I think it's a big miss, but it's out of our control, I guess, at this point. But it's I wholeheartedly disagree with it. I don't like it.
I am going to. You know what? Because you're full 100% wholehearted disagree with. I'm going to say I don't like it, but it may have been necessary. I disagree that Meathook needed to go, but we needed to remove a step of the mono black. I think that the most bannable play piece right now is probably Invoke Despair. You can't do anything about Invoke Despair, and the level that punishes the board, an enchantment, a creature, and a planeswalker with no recourse except counter spells. I think that's why you've seen the surge of blue decks, is because they're tired of getting despaired more than anything else.
Possibly.
I don't know. Meathook leaves an open area for other decks, as in token go wide decks and stuff like that I mentioned before. It is a strange ban in Standard because, like you said, I don't feel like that was the problem with Standard. I expected Despair. Yeah, sure. I expected Liliana. I expected possibly what's the other one? Kiki-Jiki is busted. That is like an auto include and everything. Bank Buster's an auto include. There was a lot of things I expected before Meathook. However, they needed to remove a game piece from Standard, and I don't necessarily agree that it should have been Meathook, but there needed to be something needed to go, because we were headed. I think it is. I think it is mostly solved, and the answer is Sheoldred. Just spam Sheoldred, whatever you're doing. Sheoldred is the key on a lot of different decks. I mean, you can run a Esper Sheoldred, you can run a Rakdos Sheoldred, You can run a Golgari Shale. I mean, as long as you have black in it, black is just so much value for your buck right now. Black needed essentially, it was a black nerf. It wasn't really against. It's not. Wizards walked in there and said nothing personal, kid, and then fucking shot MEATHOOK in the head. It wasn't really against MEATHOOK per se. It was against black, against mono black, and the amount of power that mono black had personally. And I think it did. You're opening up a more aggro style, and maybe aggro will start pinging a little bit better. And maybe if we have more aggro, maybe the control players will realize that they can't out-control aggro, and we might get a healthier meta. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know. I loved MEATHOOK. I used it. Listen, I was a carnivore, all right? I put that in a lot of decks, so it's hard for me to say that I'm happy about it. I'm happier about a potentially healthier meta, but we're going to have to see if there's any payoff. If I was into stocks, if Magic cards were a stock, I'd be putting all my money on Path of Peril right now. Path of Peril looking real good. Early fast removal is going to be nice, especially against aggro, which is what MEATHOOK really was. Yeah, I mean, you weren't killing Titan of Industries with MEATHOOK unless you were so late game that things were just getting out of control that you could pay 9 to do that. It really was like the turn 3 or turn 4 flop to kind of slow down any aggression or buildup that somebody else was having. So early removal is always going to be a thing, especially Swarm decks, tokens, everything like that. We're going to have to wait and see. I think there needed to be an adjustment. I don't necessarily agree with it. It was MEATHOOK that needed to go. I don't know if that was the problem. It's sad that, and that's why I like Alchemy, it's sad that they have to resort to bans all the time now, that the format constantly gets unbalanced. I think Prof talked about that the frequency of bans between now and 10 years ago is just out of control. So, at least it's not Eldraine level bans, so.
And I think they're also saying, like, you didn't need to have it banned pre-rotation. Some people were saying, like, if you have to do bans right after rotation, you should just admit that 5-set standard doesn't work, which I don't know if I disagree with that. You have things that just get really out of control right after rotation, and if you know it's going to be that powerful, then like you may just want to reconsider how many things you rotate, or when you rotate things out for standard, or do them like one at a time. Don't do them all at once and take away what's the math there, 37.5% of the cards for what I mean, so like over a third of the cards, because yes, something is going to stick out like a sore thumb, but by the time you refill your card availability within the format, it probably like once we get Brothers War, the next 2 sets, there's going to be enough stuff to deal with whatever MEATHOOK was giving problems for, in my opinion. So
yeah, probably.
I think there's a greater issue here, speaking to what you're saying about how much they have to ban now, and it's a 5-set standard that I think is more the issue. I'm not saying I don't like it, but I think that it's more likely to cause something to be overpowered the way MEATHOOK was. But you also took out things like Blood on the Snow. You took out Doomscar. You know what I mean? We lost all these like true board wipes. And outside of Path of Peril, MEATHOOK is the only one, and it's technically not even a board wipe.
So I think that, I don't know, maybe they're trying to put board wipes more into the hands of white, which Lord only knows white doesn't need a power jump. Because we have Depopulate. We have, first of all, Farewell is awful. If you ever get hit by a Farewell, that's just devastating.
Rough. That's rough.
Yeah, because that, not only that, it's literally every zone. I mean, I'm surprised it doesn't take every card in exile and put it in exile. Send it to the super exile. That's exile your, just exile everything. Just, it's all gone.
Exile your grandma's dog.
Yeah, it's just, it's exile beyond exile. So even if you're running Golgari or Black Reanimator, you're still banged on it. And that kind of sucks. But I don't know. They might just be trying to put it back in White's hands. I don't think. Listen, it was a control. At the end of the day, it was a gain and drain card, but it was half gain and drain and half control. And as much as I hate to admit it, you know, I'm never gonna be mad when they take a little less when they take some anti-aggro pro control cards out of the game, because there's too much of that in there anyways. The game, because of the value problem of cards being, there's some cards that are just hyper valuable if you get them out very quickly. There's just a certain amount that is going to, you're going to benefit any kind of certain amount if you remove that ability to take control of that. So I don't know. I'm like I said, I don't feel like it was the solution we need, but it was a solution. So, you know, I don't know. We'll have to see. We haven't seen it in practice. It may not shake it up at all. People, you know, the mono black value, they might slide Path of Peril right in there and get right back to work. Path of Peril doesn't upset anything in mono black decks that's going to matter. It doesn't affect your Grave Robber. It doesn't affect, it kills your Tenacious Underdog, but those come back from the dead anyway, so who cares? So we'll have to see. We're going to have to wait and see what happens. Obviously I'm not thrilled about it. I like the card, but and so the one question I have is, does that mean it's permanently gone from God, what's that thing called? From Alchemy? Like, it's gone off Alchemy as well?
No, Alchemy, and you know, we were kind of already playing with like a you know, cut off at the knees MEATHOOK with the no life gain.
Yeah.
Which the nerf that they did, and that is why the Alchemy format exists, is so that they don't actually have to ban anything other than Ignis that one time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it exists so that they can nerf, and yeah, they nerfed the MEATHOOK, and that was maybe last month. It exists to nerf and not ban. So we will continue to play MEATHOOK in Alchemy, or we may, I should say, the nerf version. So no life gain. They still lose life when your creatures die, etc. And you can still use it. You know, obviously have it in the deck. But standard, it's done. Historic, Explorer, you're good. Modern, Legacy, Pioneer, Vintage, all the other stuff, you're good. But standard, it is out.
Yeah, it's out. So, all the more reason to play Alchemy if you miss it. I just saw somebody on Twitter today. They said, I wish that there was some kind of way that, you know, there's so many cards. There's 1,500 cards in Magic Standard right now, and yet people only play the same 30 or 40 cards. I wish there was some way Wizards of the Coast had to balance that out and make people play more cards and get different builds in, and, you know. And I was like, yeah, it's called Alchemy, and everybody shat on it when it first came out.
That is exactly why they made it a thing. That's what Alchemy's for. I mean, yeah. Granted, they kind of mismanaged it a little bit and made it like, or didn't update it as much as they needed to in order for that to happen properly. But in this instance, you can legit still play MEATHOOK in Alchemy, and there's other cards that are, I mean, granted, there's cards that are way overpowered in Alchemy too that they need to deal with, but you know, there's other cards to use in Alchemy, and there's other mechanics and concepts and whole different meta in Alchemy. And it's fun.
Yeah. And I think that I mean, it's a shameless plug for it, and I think that's important to remember, but it is always an option. I know people are always, you know, they're always clowning on it, but it's a viable option, guys. It's very fun. It's perfectly fine to play Alchemy. And that's the thing. Listen, calling Alchemy a cash grab after the real fake, the debacle of real fake cards, I think that's unfair now. That's a cash grab when you're paying $1,000 for 4 proxies. That is what you would consider a cash grab. Alchemy is not a cash grab.
The prospect to get 4 proxies.
The prospect, yeah. You don't get to choose which ones you get. You just may or may not get some.
There's no guarantee that they're even good.
Yeah, you may get garbage. You never know.
Yep. Yeah.
So Alchemy is not expensive. There's like 5 cards you need from it to make a functioning deck. There are some busted combos. I think their nerf on Cabretti was the lamest nerf I've ever seen in my life. That was the absolute most cowardly nerf ever. We'll make it 1 more red mana. What? It goes back to my whole thing of Wizards doesn't appear to understand that casting cost is not a obstacle.
Well, especially when it's the same CMC overall, it's still 3 mana no matter.
Yeah, you're still
how
getting.
They
yeah,
organize
you're still
the
getting
colors,
it.
you know?
You're still getting it in however you want.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a weak nerf. So aside from that busted, I think that's the only busted card in Alchemy right now. Everything else is fairly balanced, and you can still do other stuff. So there's our shameless Alchemy.
Diviner of Fates.
Oh yeah, well that's if you're dealing with Esper regardless.
Yeah, Esper's like very pushed in Magic right now for whatever reason.
Yeah, Esper they just want you to play Esper.
Yeah, somebody over there loves Esper.
Yeah, somebody does. Somebody does.
Their love child.
They really, really like Esper. They really like Esper.
Whatever.
But aside, I just gotta try to. The control decks are annoying. The thing is control decks aren't fun to play against. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Control decks, they might work, they might be effective, but they're not fun for the other person.
Exactly.
You know, so that's the problem.
But R.I.P. Meathook.
Yeah, rip Meathook. You were a good card. We had you for a year, and now you're gone from Standard. We'll have to see what happens.
Is there a card that you see? You know, I know you said Path of Peril, but is there a card that you plan to use to go in the slot where your Meathook was?
I think Path of Peril is going to be 100% what we see, and I also think that we're probably going to see a lot of Orzhov just for Depopulate and Farewell. I think that it may shift a little bit. But I can't think of a deck that you needed Meathook in. Like, if I don't have Meathook in this deck, the deck isn't going to work. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't see that. I don't see that deck. I don't think it's going to kill any archetype. The only one that I had was, like, the Pest deck that the whole goal is to Meathook yourself. So...
Yeah, that was different, yeah.
You know, so that's all that I saw.
I know sometimes with those with the zombie decks, just like having a Meathook out would kill them faster.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or certain decks like that, like sacrifice decks,
mm-hmm.
they would die faster, but you can still win without it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For me, I do like the Path of Peril, and you if you play mono black, maybe you just add your Caves of Koilos in there now. And you can tap that for your 1 white mana that you need to cleave it. That's what I've been doing since rotation. But also a card that's in there is Choking Miasma. 3 mana. Creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn.
Yep.
Also an instant. It has kicker also. The kicker is green to put a counter on one of your creatures, so I don't do the kicker.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't play like Golgari or Jund usually, but if I were, it's a solid card. It's actually, in a sense, it's actually better than a Meathook for 2. It's 1 less mana and it's instant speed, so it can be helpful. It is only -2/-2. It's nice against like those smaller decks, aggro, low to the ground. They're setting up. A lot of the mono red stuff. A lot of the creatures don't get above a 2 toughness. So,
yeah.
It's helpful for that, you know. But yeah, Meathook's gone, and you know we have to figure out other options. So if you guys have anything that you plan to use to replace MEATHOOK with, let us know in the comments for sure.
Yeah, for
I'd
sure.
like to know what you're doing, or even
what's that Nightclubber one? I can't remember the name. I used that a few times, but it got outvalued a lot, so I never really went in on it real hard.
Yeah, I think it's called like Nightclub or something.
Yeah.
Or not Nightclub, but like Clubber.
Clubber, yeah. Nightclubber.
Isn't there one
it's called
called
Nightclubber. It's literally just called Nightclubber. Yeah. And that one is it has Blitz. And it's when it enters the battlefield, it's 3, 2 black and 1, and it's everybody, each of your opponent's creatures gets -1/-1, which is nice. You know, so it's for tokens, yeah. Everyone wanted, you know what I was surprised at? The people didn't like Wedding Invitation. Whatever the name of that one is. What's
Wedding
that called?
Announcement?
Wedding Announcement, yeah. People really wanted that card gone. I don't think it's that powerful.
Now it got even better.
Yeah, it got a sideways buff. So, so moving on from MEATHOOK, let's talk about what's coming up in the future. What is coming up in the future? Dear Numbskull.
We're a month out.
We're literally a month out. By the way, guys,
yeah,
start saving your gold. I don't want to hear this about I don't have any gold to get. I don't have any packs. I can't get it. If you're getting 4 wins a day, you should be getting. If you're doing your dailies, you should be getting it. There's no excuse. If you're saving your gold right now, you'll have almost 40 or 50 packs by the time that whatchamacallit rolls around.
I had someone ask when I was streaming the other night, and I was like, putting gold into standard play-in events. They're like, well, don't you want to save your gold for the new set? And I was like, yeah, I guess that is coming up, isn't it? So
yeah, and
I'm gonna have to start being mindful of resources now.
Listen, if you want to split the difference, but having 3 packs versus having 25 packs, even if you split the difference and just save some, you're gonna get 3 free packs. But I believe it's the 10th or the 15th that we get it. I can't remember when it exactly is. We're absolutely going to start. You're gonna need to start saving your gold pretty soon, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, isn't this the one where it comes out on Arena after paper? It's like a week after.
Yeah, they're doing an after paper again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing an after paper again, or like simultaneous. It used to be we got it on Arena first, and the paper players didn't like that, so they like switch off now.
I like the Arena comes out, and then paper has pre-release when Arena comes out. I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's appropriate. Yeah.
And it's telling me November 18th for the release date, according to the spoiler website that we're looking at. But
what are we talking about? We're talking about 5 weeks. You can average about 8 packs a week, I think is what I figured out. 5 weeks times 8, you can get about 40 packs in. Wait for it. Anyways, that's enough of my PSAs. Let's talk about what are we doing? Let's talk about the cards. Yeah, let's talk about the cards. Let's jump to it. Let me jump here. All right. And of course, it is not picking up my browser source yet. There it is. All right. Okay. Brothers War spoilers. All right. Numbskull, what do you have to say about this stuff? What do you think so far? Overview.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty spicy stuff. With like the Urza and Mishra, all that. Continuing with the Phyrexian stuff, we see the reprints of the, how should I say it? We see the reprints of these older artifacts, which, as far as I know, are not going to be standard legal. They're going to be like the mystical archive of Strixhaven. So they're like list cards, so to speak.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those that have been released so far. And I guess maybe some of these are legal in standard. So I think Commander. So Commander is going to love this set. I think they're really reaching out to Commander players and saying, hey, we're throwing you guys a bone here. You guys want some new stuff? Here you are.
Yeah.
You guys want reprints? Here you are. So we have Urza, we have Mishra, Obviously, a big emphasis on artifacts themselves, so that's going to be noteworthy.
I called that way back. I just want to give myself a pat on the back. I said there's going to be a humongous emphasis on artifacts. I said I'm familiar with this. I'm familiar with this set. Artifacts are going to be where it's at. This, I mean, like way back when in Urza's block originally, you know, there was just so much stuff about artifacts and technology and crap like that that, you know, I just knew we were overloading on artifacts, which for me isn't too exciting because I don't like artifacts. But continue. I'm sorry. I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Notably, we have Manlands coming back too in the Mishra's Foundry. I think there's another one. It is a colorless, of course, because artifacts, but yeah, we're bringing back Manlands. We're bringing back, we're getting more creatures that level up, kind of like Evolve Sleeper. So that's noteworthy. We're getting some sick land art. I'll say that. You know what I mean? That's pretty legit. I guess, Jay, we haven't gotten spoilers in probably like over a week now, though, for this. Like, there aren't.
No, it dribbled out a few cards came out, and we really didn't get much more than that. Yeah,
we probably only have, in terms of cards that you can play in standard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 standard cards, and two of them are, or four, half of them are the Mishra and the Urza things where you have to have 2 of a certain card, I believe.
Yeah, for melding.
In order for melding to flip.
So the melding, you have to have Urza Lord Protector, and you have to have the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. So it's a total of 7. If you have both of them, you pay 7, and then you go in on it. And let's see here.
It's like Exodia.
Yeah, it's like Exodia. Then he becomes super powerful. Urza's Ultra, he has 5 Planeswalker abilities.
And he starts with 7 loyalty, notably.
7 loyalty. And
really high.
Yeah. And artifacts and Planeswalkers you control gain indestructible, and then you destroy all non-land permanents in his ultimate. So, like, serious high-level control like you've never seen. Which is interesting. The thing that people need to remember about Planeswalkers, if you're a new player or an old, you know, you haven't done this for a while, Planeswalkers literally used to be gods. That's how they ran. They had ridiculous godlike powers. They created whole planes of existence. They wielded enormous amounts of power. So Planeswalkers frankly got a nerf, like in the lore. I'm not talking about the mechanic of Planeswalkers. I'm talking about the Magic the Gathering lore of what a Planeswalker is and what they do. Got a serious nerf.
Yeah.
Planeswalkers used to they were like, they could destroy planets. They were demigods at the very least, and Urza was probably one of the most powerful Planeswalkers of all time. So obviously his card is going to be just OP as all hell. So that's why we're seeing this, like, wow, the power scale of this is ridiculous. Now, we never used to have Planeswalkers till 2007. They only talked about them. And actually, the original lore of Magic the Gathering, if I can get on my Vorthos stool here, is that what was quote-unquote happening when you were playing a game of Magic is you were a Planeswalker and your opponent was a Planeswalker, and you were summoning creatures to fight for you and casting spells and doing all this stuff. That's what the lore of Magic the Gathering was.
Wizards, when they talk to you about playing a game, they still refer to you as a Planeswalker.
As a Planeswalker, yeah. You don't see that too much anymore because they have actual Planeswalker cards now, so I think that... Yeah. But even when you start up Arena, it's like, oh, you were a Planeswalker, you're here, you just made your first Spark jump. That's why Sparky is Sparky, because I think it's supposed to be your Planeswalker Spark talking to you.
That makes sense.
Is what that is.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
So the level of this is appropriate, is what I'm saying. People are like, "Oh my God, he's so yeah, he is super powerful." The reason that there was an Ice Age, the reason that there was an ice age in Dominaria, and the reason Dominaria got so screwed up, is because of Urza literally blew up the planet fighting with his brother. So, you know,
dudes are strong.
Yeah, very, very powerful in the lore. So I don't feel like people were shocked at like, oh my goodness, draw, so you know, you can do all this stuff, you can destroy everything. Artifacts and instants and sorceries are 2 less. Like, wow, this guy's nuts. Yes, his eyes are in fact the Might Stone and the Weak Stone. And you're also going to see a lot of weird high technology. Magic used to be kind of weird, where it was fantasy, but it was to that point where like magic was technology. Like there was mech suits and Gargan. Like it was not Game of Thrones level of fantasy. It was like crazy, like crazy technological marvels beyond our comprehension, with magic fueling everything. So it was really high, really like super high fantasy. Very interesting setting. So
it's pretty legit.
We're going to see a lot of that, I think. You're going to see some crazy powerful artifacts. I'm super excited. I used to play this card, Phyrexian Revoker. Unbelievably awesome. Love that guy.
It's like a Pithing Needle, but also with a creature.
Yeah, it's a Pithing Needle creature, and more interestingly, it is it's 2, and it's activated ability of forces with chosen name can't be activated. You have to pay for Pithing Needle, don't you? You have to like.
No.
Oh no, it's just automatic.
No,
okay.
It's just 1 mana, and then until it's removed, it gets that ability. So basically, it's like 2 cards in 1, because like a 2/1 for 1 is useful to begin with, but then you add a Pithing Needle into it, so you're combining 2 cards into 1.
Yeah.
So you're getting that double value there. It's good. It's good. But I guess that's not going to be standard legal because of the
brown border.
All the ones that,
I know.
Yeah, all the ones that have that border.
I felt they got me with this, man. I felt a lot of nostalgia seeing this old timey, whatchamacallit here. This old timey thing.
I guess these cards might be valuable though. I'm not sure. Some of them.
I probably
reprints.
Yeah. I don't know if the old ones are valuable. I played the hell out of them, so they're probably all beaten up. What are you looking at? I mean, what are you hoping to see out of this set?
So I see that there's Mishra claimed by Gix, which is Urza's brother, of course. I'm hearing a lot about Gix, and I want there to be a Gix creature.
Ooh,
or whatever.
Yeah,
I want to see a Gix.
Gix was the. God, I'm failing at my lore right now. Oh, so Gix was a Phyrexian. We know that. I think he was the general that led the invasion of Dominaria. So Yawgmoth was the father of machines. He's the one who invented the Phyrexians. He created them out of the black oil. He was from Thran, which is where the Phyrexians first came from. We're getting into the deep lore, guys. We're getting into the deep lore channel now.
It's nitty gritty.
So he was from the really deep, from heavy. He created Yawgmoth. He was a doctor. He was actually a physician, and he was trying to figure out a cure to the plague that was killing everyone on Thran. Urza, I think, somehow was involved. God, I gotta brush up on my lore. He may have shown him or accidentally shown him that if you use this crap called black oil, which is essentially nanomachine sun, you could stop. You could create life essentially. It was a weird mechanized life, but it was life. And he started experimenting on his people and basically doing eugenics to try to create the perfect beings. And that's what he ended up making Phyrexians, which were mostly machine with metal fusion on them. And they wanted to go kill Dominaria because of reasons. So Gix, there was a whole. I used to use it called Priest of Gix, which was a 3-drop that gave you 3 black mana. It was a 2/1 3-drop that gave you 3 black mana, which was pretty cool.
Nice. And
I used to cast Priest of Gix. I used to cast Dark Ritual, Priest of Gix, Phyrexian Negator. All on turn 1, which shows you how fucking busted Black used to be. So Black being busted is nothing new.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I used to do. So I'd love to see a Gix card. That would be really cool. I'd love to see the Evan cars back. I'd love to see more Phyrexians, obviously. I'd love to see some Phyrexian support, maybe like, Black Oil, like a Black Oil Uprising or something like that. Black Oil Wellspring or Font of the Black Oil, which would functionally perhaps do something to the respect of call it, protect, give Phyrexian boost, basically be a Phyrexian captain card, give all Phyrexians a certain amount. Or I'd also love to see a completion card. That's the main thing that I'm looking for, is a card that's going to say, whenever you do this, it becomes this, you may complete this creature, it now is considered a Phyrexian and X, Y, and Z, and it does this and that and this and that. So I think that would be really cool, because we talk about completion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Phyrexian dragons also.
Are we due for one? Yeah, I think definitely. Yeah.
I'd say we're due. So if you scroll down in the Mythic spoiler thing a little bit, it does hint at other cards that will be seen. They see Ashnod, Hercule, Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor, Saheeli, and then it's a picture of Teferi, but they don't list Teferi in the name. I guess maybe because they don't know what the actual card will be yet. It looks like the name of we will get a Gix, and it'll say Gix, Yawgmoth Praetor, which is like obviously Phyrexian.
Yeah.
So yeah. Someone, and now this is conjecture, he's going to be colorless with some cost with black.
Okay.
So maybe it's an artifact that has black in the cost. And they said that they think that Ashnod will be Dimir.
Okay.
So we'll have to see about that.
All right.
So those are, but now that's just strictly card art, it looks like.
Yeah.
And of course, these are just people on the internet commenting things, but usually some like the comments that you see below that stuff, a lot of times like they have some validity to it. So we'll see. But yeah, I guess we're gonna get Gix. I don't know who the other guys are other than.
How are we getting Saheel? Saheel that's like from modern times. This happened like 4,000 years ago. He must be part of the Avengers team she must be part of the Avengers team that goes back in time then, huh?
Yeah. They said people are annoyed that she's in the set.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Oh, because they're gonna say, I guess it's gonna probably tie into Teferi goes back in time to learn how to use the Silex.
Yeah.
And I think she gets tied into that.
Yeah.
Because it says that she built a replica of the Silex using notes from Karn.
Okay.
So that's when Teferi goes back in time, and I think he meets with her when he tries to learn how to use the Silex itself.
Okay. It's a bit odd that she's in the set. Because I was going to say, yeah. So he's going to time twist himself all the way back to the Brothers' War. He's going to pull a full Avengers and try to endgame and try to fix everything.
But you said she's from the present?
She's from the present.
I guess they're saying... Okay, so it says... the one comment says... So she shows up at the end of the story when Teferi returns to present day, and she's making the replacement Silex in the present, while Teferi goes back in time to learn how to use the old one.
Okay,
is what they're saying. So
gotcha.
I guess that's why that's why she's relevant.
Okay,
because we're going to be going back and forth between the future and present.
Yeah.
In this lore, I guess.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
Yeah. So maybe there's going to be like another Silex or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they'll probably they're probably going to rebuild it because they're going to have to stop the Phyrexians. And the thing is they'll just the Silex is just basically a magical nuke. Is what it is. It just blows up everything.
Fair enough.
You know, so we'll see how that works.
So it kills everyone, even themselves.
Yeah, I mean, its effect is mass exile. You can get into a safe place, but it used to be Urza Silex. I can't remember exactly how did they defeat them in the original. Oh god, this lore is from like 25 years ago. Like, this is my brain working. I'm in my 30s, so trying to remember stuff from 25 years ago it's all filled with Nintendo cheat codes. So, you know,
I'm looking on like the MTG wiki, and yeah, it looks like there's the Golgothian Silex, also known as the Argivian Silex, and then there was a Silex Blast at the end of Brothers War.
Yeah, was that Urza's Ruinous Blast?
They said that Urza used the Silex,
yeah.
So probably.
I think it's Urza's Ruinous Blast that caused the Ice Age. So we might be in, if they blow up, if they hit the nuke again. I don't know. I mean, I don't know really how much that's saving Dominaria. Maybe they'll affect it that it only takes metal away. You know, like machinery. I thought that the ground war invasion of Dominaria by Phyrexia again was stupid. Like, they're just doing this. They're like hyper intelligent machine monsters. They're just doing the same thing of sending in robot spiders again. Like, it didn't work the first time. Yeah. That's why I was so interested in
better.
Yeah, that's why I was so interested in the card Phyrexian Missionary, because I said to myself, what if they're gonna play this smart? If Phyrexia is like, we're gonna go, because they're multicolored now. It used to just be black. There was only black Phyrexians. They were just the bad guys. What if they did it smart, and what if they were like, listen, the Dominaria leadership is corrupt. You're being a peasant and slaving away, and your kings or whatever feast, and you get nothing. And why don't you just join the first church of the machine god, and you'll feel great. We're gonna put some. Oh, your legs hurt, your arms broken, you can't. You don't have enough for a healer. Oh, we'll heal you. You know what? I like a nefarious style of invasion underground as like a cult, and as coming in as like, oh, we're reformed. We're not bad guys anymore. We're just machine robots that love machines and forcibly turning people into machines. But don't worry about that. Don't think about it too much. I don't know. I thought there would be like a cooler way that they could just, aside from, we're invading again with ground soldiers. And it's like, all right, well, you tried that and it didn't work. So I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I'd like to see Phyrexians have an uneasy peace with Dominaria. We've already seen war with them. As little sense as it makes, like I said, we've already seen war with Dominaria.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a weird uneasy peace that they have of like Phyrexia trying to insidiously influence through their religion and their technology the people of Dominaria. So I don't know. I as somebody who's been through this with the story of kind of just Phyrexia bad, black mana bad, white mana good. That's a little reductive. It's a little reductive at this point.
Yeah. That's understandable.
Yeah. It's just like, okay, yeah, I get it. So yeah, but I'm interested. It's interesting to see all these
outside of a Silex. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe it'll backfire. Maybe it won't work. Maybe they'll find something else. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm interested.
They said lore starts on the 20th.
Okay, so I'll have to do some lore drops.
Lore on the 20th. More spoilers on the 27th. So, I guess we're gonna be chilling with these 8 cards for
a while. Yeah,
for a little over 2 weeks here. Or by the time you guys see this, it'll be 2 weeks.
Yeah. I really got to get in and start making lore videos. One of the things that people forget is Karn has a Phyrexian piece in his body. His heart was Xancha. There was a good Phyrexian named Xancha who was helping Urza with the invasion. She was a sleeper agent, as we've seen sleeper agents. If you ever see Evolve Sleeper,
yes.
So there was a good sleeper agent who didn't want to work for Phyrexia, who helped Urza talk about the invasion to figure it out and everything like that. And basically basically helped him, and then when she died, she sacrificed herself. Spoiler alert, it happened 25 years ago, but spoiler alert. The he used her Heartstone, which was like her power source, the Phyrexian power source, to build Karn, and that's why he's sentient and not just a feelingless robot. Yeah, because he actually has.
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, and that's why not Ashiok, but that's why Elish Norn and Sheoldred and all the Phyrexians consider him the new father of machines, because he's like the ultimate machine god. That's why they like him and want to kidnap him and are torturing him with nightmares and all that. Is because they're like, oh yeah, Urza made you, and you're the new Yawgmoth, and he's like, well, I'm not evil. I don't want to genocide people. And they're like, oh, give it a shot, man. Come on.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, so that's my half-assed lore. I hope you enjoy it.
Not bad. Not bad.
Would you like to see us
YouTube channel for more lore?
Would you like to see more lore on the Black Council or on Jay's channel? Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. I probably did a bunch of stuff wrong, and there's serious Vorthos people who are like, this is a nightmare. Jay ruined it.
Yeah, I do. I will say, when I want to know about lore, I don't have the attention span to read stuff for more than like 5 minutes. So if I can sit there and just like listen to someone like tell it to me in a 30 to 45 minute synopsis, I will gladly do that. I will do that many times before I read any lore that's outside of the length of a regular article.
Okay. Yeah.
So I do. I personally prefer that method of delivery, but that's also just me. I don't read much to begin with. I can read, but I don't.
I would hope. I don't know how you play in this game if you can't read. I guess just figuring it out from the pictures.
Yeah. You just get lucky.
Yeah. Just play the prettiest picture. Yeah.
Spend all your mana every turn, and then you'll win.
Well, there you go. That's mono red playing right there.
Yeah.
That's some good old mono red. Yeah, I should probably cover some old lore and look at some of my old cards and do that. But
yeah, I would be interested in that.
One of the fun things about Magic is there is an ongoing story, so it's kind of unique in that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's a good time to get ready for the lore of the new set. Comes out in 9 days. You could read up on it and do your synopsis, and who knows, maybe people will like it.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. But you definitely will get. I mean, we have some crazy powerful cards here.
Yeah. Something else I thought was noteworthy about these guys is the Planeswalker that you get, the Urza Planeswalker, the Phyrexian Artificer, the artifact creature that you get. Notably, and I think the reason people are angry with it is that they just die to removal. So it's like, all right, well, neither of them have indestructible or ward or hexproof or anything. No way to protect themselves. It's just straight up, a fireball of shit coming at you. And if you can deal with it, cool. If you can't deal with it, then okay, yeah, it probably will kill you quickly, But they definitely affect the board the board very much. But the Urza Planeswalker, Hero's Downfall, Mishra, Loss of Phyrexia, Infernal Grasp. There's very cheap cards to deal with that you can just kind of hold it, because that they likely won't be able to meld all in one turn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know how frequently you're gonna be able to meld with as much removal as we have.
Keep it on the board.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy task.
You might pull off the meld, but can you keep it on the board for more than 1 or 2 turns?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Urza Lord Protector, or we're talking about Urza Lord Protector here. You get blasted by 4, you're done. I mean, artifacts, instants, and sorceries are cheaper, which means that you'll be able to counterspell for cheaper, I guess, is the idea.
Yeah. Counterspells are like a 1 mana Valorous Stance. Well, I guess not Valorous Stance, but I don't know. Maybe you can like have a spell that makes a planeswalker phase out in this set. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
Phasing. So that could be noteworthy. I think a lot of people were saying that if you want to run the Mishra one effectively, you're probably gonna have to like run it in Grixis so you can have the blue to protect. Or you're gonna have to for the Urza, you probably could do Azorius, but you're probably gonna have to go Esper. So I think a lot of people were saying like Stainer's gonna turn into a battle of Grixis versus Esper, which is funny because in terms of the three color combinations that are the best, that's actually kind of already happening.
Well,
so,
yeah, and also that's literally what the Brothers' War was. That was Grixis versus Esper. Go. Yeah, and Green so just was like, I'm a pretty boy.
Yeah, Green's just like, okay, well,
yeah,
we have big dumb creatures.
Because Urza was Esper, Azorius, and you know, so that was the issue. And Mishra was always kind of Grixis. I think he started as red and then he kind of got black. I mean, black back in the day, black used to, be expressly evil. Like it wasn't this. They talk about black. No, well, it's neutral. It's just ambition and the life cycles and nature. And no, black was the bad one. You know, it was. Oh, you're using black mana. That's the evil mana, and white is the good mana. So it was a very much more cut and dry back then.
It's very nuanced now.
Yeah, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit. They play with it a little bit more now, but you know.
Well, I'm Team Mishra. Just saying.
Oh, really? Oh, that's surprising.
Team Mishra for sure. I can see myself playing that card. Couldn't really see myself playing the Urza because I'm not a big Azorius or Esper fan.
That's your least favorite is Azorius, you know.
Yeah, but the reduction in the instants and sorceries, it is kind of nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe they'll have put in cards here that make me want to play it.
Well, people are going to find out. Here's the spoiler, guys. The 20 years spoiler. Urza's an asshole. It's awful. He's an awful person. I know he's like the preeminent guy, and he was like the face of the thing, but his actions are deplorably bad.
He's like the protagonist. That's like the anti-hero.
I wouldn't even say he's anti-heroic. He's just bad.
Oh, okay.
Like if he thinks that it'll further his cause, he'll genocide a whole people. Like he doesn't care.
Oh, so he's like opportunist.
Yeah.
Slash like what's the word? Like dictator kind of guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He accidentally caused Sarah to get killed. Sarah, meaning this lady who made angels. He like went to her realm and like accidentally brought Phyrexians there. Like he's done awful stuff. He tries to make up for it in the end. He tries to get kind of redeemed, but for a while, his character, like the Brothers' War, is stupid. Like it had nothing to do with Phyrexia first. They were just fighting over power, and then the Phyrexians invaded, and they had to kind of like team up.
He's like the guy who gets like the whole party busted because he was getting followed by the cops.
Yeah, he just wanted power. He wanted to do more and more and more, and he was very petty and vengeful, and you know he's got a lot of flaws, but as a flawed character, he is a good character.
Definitely.
But there's a lot going on with him, man. He's not that great of a guy.
Well, I think we all look forward to your lore video about the Brothers' War then, Jay.
Yeah, I'll have to do one. I'll have to get into lore.
Hit it up, Raven. Raven will tell you all about it.
Oh yeah, he knows a little. I didn't know he knows lore.
Oh yeah, Raven's really good with that stuff.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have anything else left?
I think we're good. Just let us know if you guys think these cards are going to be interesting here, and then let us know anything that you want to see in the Brothers' War set, and if you want to see Jay make a lore video, because I want to see
Jay make us see a lore Jay video, lore
Jay lore video. Jay lore. He's that lore Jay.
I'm that lore Jay. Yes.
But it's there's a lot of cool stuff coming out, so let us know what you guys are thinking and how you're feeling about it. Are you happy with Standard right now? Are you happy with Wizards right now? all that stuff.
Yeah, we want to know your thoughts on the
it.
ban. We might poll. I think we're gonna poll we'll poll our patrons and see what the patrons think. See what the Black Council officially thinks about the ban.
That sounds good. Yeah.
And so
we'll see what the rest of the council has to say.
We'll see what the rest of the council has to say about this particular ban. That'll be interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good. Cool.
Guys, we'll call this one, guys. And I think next week, I don't think we're going to have more. I guess we'll have to take a look. We'd like to get some special guests on. I've reached out to a few of our compatriots in the Magic the Gathering world. And we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we get some people on. We're gonna talk about getting some special guests on.
I've had people asking me about like collaboration stuff lately, so I'll have to see if any one of them are interested in being on the
I'm
podcast.
doing some collabs with some YouTubers. You probably know more streamers than me. So I have some collabs coming up personally with some YouTubers, and we'll see if we can get some streamers and YouTubers on. So I'd like to do that eventually. You get tired of hearing it just from us.
Very much interested. I'm sure you guys are getting bored of us. We're gonna have to bring in someone else here to spice it up.
I know.
We're gonna have to bring in a third into this relationship.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. This is a polyamorous podcast.
A consensual
polyam podcast for your pleasure. That's our new tagline.
Weekly pleasure.
Yeah.
We do that thing that we do for you guys every Thursday.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You get it.
That thing,
You know that date.
Every Thursday.
This is good. We do it.
Oh, that's hilarious. But yes, we will be looking to get people and find some special guests for you guys. If there's anybody that you want to see on the podcast, you can put that in the comments too.
Or come to our Discord, our new, which I know that people are going to sign up for soon.
2 more people, and then you can just put it in the Discord. Say, hey, let's do it. Obviously,
this is who I want to see. I want to see you interview him.
Yeah. We probably can't do anything crazy. Like, I know somebody's gonna make a joke and say you got to get CGB on your podcast. It's probably not gonna happen.
No. Yeah.
At least not right now.
Yeah.
But but if you want to be that guy, then I'll still say LOL.
Yeah.
So if you want to be that guy, I will.
I'd love to give some opportunities to some small creators too. Definitely.
That would be cool.
That's where I kind of want to focus our energy. Like, I know you guys want to probably see big guys, but it's so hard being a small creator. It's not easy being a medium-sized creator. So, I mean, I remember when I was a small, like very small creator. So definitely want to spotlight some people that deserve it.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, I'm still considered a small creator, and I'm like, working towards, getting higher up. But yeah, so but there are small creators who consider me, as they say, established. So like, there's a lot of like levels, and then there's like microcosms of those levels in between. There's like a subset of levels for each level. So we'll try to have some showcase of like smaller streamers for you guys to check out and make it part of the council. I think that would be very, very fun. So we'll have to check into all of that.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll look at something. And if you
anybody
are one,
you guys want to see, please tell us.
Leave it in the comment, or if you are one, contact us. Our contact information, I think, is we're both on Twitch. You can get my Discord or his Discord. I think it's theblackcouncilpodcast.com at gmail.com, by the way.
And I think you usually put our email in the YouTube descriptions, I believe, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you want to self-nominate yourself in the comments, feel free.
Yeah, go for it. I don't care. It's free.
Yeah. We'll bring in the podcast. We'll showcase you. We'll talk things over with you, and then all kinds of stuff. But yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Love to know what you guys think, and we'll be back.
Tell me what you think of my VTuber.
Yeah. Do you guys like Jay's VTuber? I think it's sweet. We got to get him some different gear. Like, we got to make it so he can like have different clothes every time.
Yeah.
Like on Grand Theft Auto, like
exactly.
You can go to the thing and
some
change
GTA,
your wardrobe.
Some GTA stuff.
We gotta find the cheat code for the new VTuber clothes.
I think. Well, the problem is like I looked and like a lot of them are in Japanese, and I'm like I don't know how to do this. I was like, oh yeah, you want this cool outfit? It's 7,000 yen. I'm like, what?
I think that's like $80.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
It's
Is
very
it?
difficult.
Yeah, it's
And
like
also,
80
I'm not putting my credit card into a shady Japanese VTuber site. It's the last thing I need to do.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough, man. I understand. But yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we'll get it all figured out. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
For sure. And we want to know about MEATHOOK, and we want to know what you think about the upcoming set. Roundtable, guys. Let's hear about it. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay Villain. You've been great. With me, as always, is Numbskull. And we're calling this session of the council to a close. Good night, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.